Um, who is the tech master today? Team, who's the tech master today?
It's me and Dharatna.
Okay. Can I share my deck? Would you mind sharing my presentation as well?
You want it right now?
No. Whenever my time comes.
Yes, you are a co-host.
Yes, no. I'm not sharing my screen.
You can share. You
can share it. Then I can see the chart also.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters. I'm pretty sure that you all are having a great weekend. At the same time, you are here to make a good use of weekend by attending today's session, Master, speaking off the cuff to grab some learnings. So this is Daphne Marma. I will be the host of this event for this evening. I strongly believe that today's workshop is going to be an effective session for all of you, where you will be being benefited by the speeches of our distinguished speakers. So today we have our distinguished speakers, Toastmaster Syed Ibrahim Sajid, HB Dairatne Ayanpal, and so on and so forth. To kick off our session, I would like to mention some things. We all know that human being is different from other creatures because of some distinguished qualities. Speech is one of them. Language would not have progressed without speech, just as different cultures would not have raised without different languages. Similar to eating food, breathing, and sleeping, communication is also an integral part of our lives. We can't stay for a single day without communicating or speaking with our family members, friends, and so on and so forth. We feel deserted, single, if we are supposed to stay without speaking to anyone, right? But do we think in our daily life, our words add any value to the listeners or have any importance to it? In other words, recollect the words, what we said to others, and evaluate whether if our words did add up any value to others. Usually these kinds of thoughts don't come to our mind, but when they come, we face difficulties in expressing or delivering the right speech in a right way. Such behavior will land you in problems in corporate circle. We fail to make a good impression when we are given to talk impromptu as we run short of ideas. With the intention of empowering you with better impromptu speaking skills, Division L Director Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jamie, together with Program Quality and Public Relations team, has organized this workshop for you. Before digging into this session, I really love to mention some things.
I think the MC got disconnected probably.
I think she got disconnected from the network. We'll join in a few minutes.
Okay. Sorry for some inconvenient network issues from my end. So I was telling you that, as usual, let's listen from our distinguished Toastmaster, Syed Ibrahim Sajid, regarding an inspirational speech. So Toastmaster Sajid is a marketing professional with over 8 years of experience in telecom and fintech industry. He is currently working at UCB Fintech Company as product and pricing lead, a past district finalist of speech contest. Apart from this, he has been a Toastmaster for 7 years and currently serving as area director of Area L2. So, distinguished Toastmaster Syed Ibrahim Sajid, over to you.
Thank you so much, MC. Am I audible and visible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. So good evening, dear Toastmasters from Division L and also from other division of District 41. It is my pleasure and a privilege to be present here in front of you guys today virtually and to talk about my experience as a table topic speaker, and also some not inspiration, I would say, rather some insights, right? So I will not get into the details of the techniques of table topics and others, because there are two distinguished speakers after me, literally distinguished Toastmasters, who will talk about the techniques and do's and don'ts of table topic speech. So I will not get into that part. Let me rather share my experience of the previous Toastmasters year contest when I was one of the district finalists in District 41, representing Division L. So in 2019 and 20 contest year, I represented Bangladesh, which was Division L at that time, in District 41 in the finals. And that was a quite interesting experience. And I just wanted to share some insights and some of my experiences from that journey, right? So that was the year when COVID hit, right? So the first contest, which was the club level contest, was held physically. So like any other contest, we had a typical regular physical Toastmasters contest at Dhaka Toastmasters Club at that time. Dhaka North Toastmasters Club. And I won the club level contest. And then suddenly COVID struck, right? And we were all confused how it's going to be, what we have to do and everything. And then the online meetings and the online contests came. And let me tell you guys one thing. I'm sure now that we have been doing online meetings for the last 2 years almost, so all of us are probably now quite used to the online setting and the whole process. But still, it can sometimes get very confusing, sometimes get very also intimidating, right? So as a speaker, one of my biggest I would say driving factor or motivation kind of speaking is when I'm speaking in front of an audience, I see the reaction of the audience, right? When I'm saying something funny, when I'm saying something inspirational, they react in different ways, right? Their facial expressions, sometimes the smile, sometimes claps, and all these things, right? And as a speaker, these things, used to drive me, motivate me. And the biggest challenge I faced in online contests or online meetings in general is that you don't have that, right? You can't see any of your audience. You can't kind of get any feedback from them, no claps, no laughs, nothing, right? And that's a challenge. That's a challenge for speakers who feed off that energy from the audience. So the first thing I would, and what I did once the online contest progressed from area level to division level, and then district semi-final and then district final, is that I tried to imagine, right, that the known people, right? So within Bangladesh Toastmasters community, there are many other Toastmasters that I know personally and that I have been at meeting with, and I have seen them in different events. So I kind of tried to imagine they're sitting in front of me, right? And I blocked out all of my other surroundings. So wherever I am in my room or wherever I'm speaking from, I tried to block out all other, sounds and all other surroundings, and try to imagine that these people that I know personally are actually sitting in front of me and they're actually listening to me, right? Then I could actually, if you can successfully imagine something like that, then you can feel the vibe of a contest or an actual speaking podium. Because otherwise, if you're just looking at a computer screen and just speaking, especially for speakers like me, sometimes that gets very, intimidating or very, unenergetic, kind of. So that's one of the things that I used to do, kind of imagine that my known people, known Toastmasters are in front of me and they're actually listening and looking at me and giving me feedbacks and reactions. So I think that is one of the things. Of course, another thing in online contest, as you all know, is technology, right? And this is, we can't stress enough on that. It is a part of life. Technology does create problems at times. So I would request everyone to make sure that this unfortunate thing does not hamper your great opportunity to actually perform well in a contest. So your speakers, your microphones, your internet connection, your devices, please double check, triple check, whatever you need to do. But please ensure that you give a brilliant speech, but for technical reasons, if the audience or the judges can't hear it, then nothing could be more unfortunate than that. Thankful that didn't happen with me, but that has happened with other speakers. I have seen that both as a contestant and also later on as a chief judge and other roles. I have seen contestants having this technical difficulty during their speech and losing out on a potential very good speech, very good opportunity, but they could not really deliver. So I request I know this, you cannot 100% ensure this, no one can, but as much as possible, having multiple devices as backup, multiple internet connectivity as backup, all those things as much as possible, please do that, because it's extremely unfortunate if you miss out on the opportunity because of this. And one more thing is, kind of the last thing that I wanted to share with everyone, is that once you progress through the club level and then area level, then division level, and then the district level, the contest gets more and more difficult at every level, right? The contestants, the people who are competing against you, their quality and their experience increases. So you also have to increase your intensity, your focus, your performance delivery at every level. So imagine the level of speech, the performance that you have delivered to be champion at a club level probably will not get you through the lines at the area level, or the performance that you gave at an area level probably will not take you through the division level, right? So I would suggest everyone or recommend everyone to understand that the competition gets more and more steep as you progress. So please understand that and try to raise your level accordingly, right? So practice more, prepare more. And as I said, and I'm sure the team Daratne will definitely share the techniques to do those, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot from those. But my request is, as you progress along the journey of contest, please practice much more, because you will have to raise your level, especially at the district level when you reach there. I remember my district final. I was, I think, the second or third speaker, I forgot, but I was one of the earlier speakers, right? And once my speech was over, I felt quite good that I delivered a decent speech. But then I heard the other speakers coming one after another after me, and I realized how amazing they all were. And eventually, in the final, I couldn't eventually make it to the podium. And I accepted, because I realized that there are really some very good speeches after me, and they deserve to win. So at that level, the district final level, the contest quality is extremely high. So we have to prepare ourselves accordingly to compete at that level. But what I do believe is that we can do this, and this is especially for Division L people who are joining this session from Bangladesh, and Division V, of course, from Bangladesh, that till now, at district level, Bangladesh has had only one podium finish. Distinguished Toastmaster Nusrat Huda was a runner-up in the humorous speech back in 2019, I believe. And then there were a couple of finalists, including myself, and there are some other speakers who went up to the final, but none of us could become district champion yet. So this year, I would really, really want someone from Bangladesh Division L or Division V to go up there and clinch the title for Bangladesh, right? So to be the district champion, District 41 champion, it is not an easy task. It will be extremely difficult, extremely daunting, but please do that. Please fly that, flag higher and win that championship for Bangladesh this year. So all the best to everyone, and hopefully we will have a great contest season ahead, and we will all enjoy listening to all the great speeches and also learn from everyone. Thank you so much. Over to you, MC.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajid. And it was really a great suggestions. I mean, you gave us really great suggestions regarding how to provide, how to deliver the speeches while participating in an examining competition. For instance, we have to keep in mind and that we are really thinking about the reaction, and we must have preparation regarding technical preparation, like keep multiple connection backup, and we have to also practice as much as we can. Thank you so much again. So this time we will be talking about, I would like to invite our first trainer today, who will share a few strategies for table topics. And here in this session, this time, our distinguished Toastmaster HP Dairatne, he will be delivering his speech. He is a double DTM holder, celebrated his 11th birthday in Toastmasters last month. He is a past area director, and currently he is the Division L program quality director, mentor, and advisor for area L3 and V2. His hobby and passion is helping people, including Toastmasters. He has mentored and coached many individual Toastmasters and clubs. Apart from this, he always believes good quality club experience will help to retain members. By profession, he is an electronics and telecommunication engineer, and currently serving as the CEO of EDI Energy and Engineering Solutions Private Limited in Bangladesh. So over to you, Toastmaster HB Dairatne.
Thank you, MC. I hope you all can hear me. Can you thumb up? Yes. So we are going to talk about the impromptu speeches today. So if you check the dictionary meaning from the Cambridge Dictionary for the word impromptu or impromptu speech, as it is, you say something without having prepared or thought about your words first. But the thing is, can we consider the table topic speech as a prepared speech? Sometimes you will say yes, sometimes you will say no. Because our practice, usually we take the pathway manual, read the objectives, and we get ready with our speech. We write it, we practice it, we rehearse it, and we go and deliver. For the table topics, we don't know what kind of topic that we will get at our club meeting from the table master or from the contest master at a contest. But what we can do is, we can think of doing the table topic in a better way. But I would like to ask you one question. So if you are going to deliver a table topic, can be in a contest, can be in a meeting, do you think, or did you went for your speech completely prepared or unprepared? So I would like to get the response from all of you, and I am launching a poll now. Please take 15 to 30 seconds to answer this question. Will you go prepared for a table topic speech? Or will you go unprepared for a table topic speech? Wonderful. I'm getting the answers for one category more than the other. So far, I have got 12. And I will end the poll and I will share the results with you. 25% said you go unprepared and 75% said you go prepared. So let's see what actually is going to work for us when you are going for a table topic speech. If you are joining from a laptop, I will request you to go to side-by-side view so that you can see me and the screen both. But of course, if it is from the mobile phone, you don't have to see me. It is more than enough to see the PowerPoint slide. So I'm sharing it again because I had a technical problem. All right, I think what kind of a screen? Yeah, you see the next one as well. So I'll hide now what do you see? Still the same screen. There's something going on. Even for the tech master, sometimes things go wrong. Please be with me until I rectify the problem. What do you see now? All right, now you are getting the correct screen. But there is a problem from my end. All right. I hope you get the correct screen right now. All right. Now, my question was whether you go prepared or unprepared for a table topic speech, and majority of you mentioned that, yes, you will go prepared. Yes, that's correct. Because if you can think about some structures, some strategies, then you can think of about the coming topic at your meeting, contest, then the delivery will be easier. So the impromptu speech in Toastmasters is not completely impromptu. So what I am going to do is I am going to share 9 different methods of giving a table topic speech. Namely, the main 3 categories: the single layer structure, a double layer structure, and a triple layer structure. So in each category, there will be 3 strategies coming up, so that altogether it will make 9 strategies. Let's begin with the single layer structure. Now, as you know, we generally have a standard opening for any table topic speech. You can say, thank you very much, table topic master, for giving that wonderful topic, or something like in that nature, not directly connected with a topic. Or you can start with a quote that might go with the given topic. So that is a standard meeting, but not count for our speech. At the same way, when you conclude, you can end with some quote or some remark and hand over the control to the contest master or the table topic master. But my effort today will be on the layer or the layers that will come in between the standard opening and the standard ending. So whenever I explain anything right now, that will come in between. And whatever I am talking will be applied for a very small period, that is 20 seconds. So let's begin the layer one, which we have, you can have one layer. This maroon color one is the layer. And then you can have two layers. That is another structure that we can think of. And finally, you can have three layers in between the opening and the end, where your main part of the speech will fit in. We will try to analyze one by one. Let's begin with strategy one, which will come under single layer structure. As I said before, there are three different strategies that we can use in single layer structure. Number one is the open questions. If the contest master or the table topic master gives a question to you, starting with one of these characters, one of these words, why, what, who, where, when, which, how, all are open questions. Why do you want to leave Toastmasters? There can be plenty of answers and the area is very wide. What did you gain by being in Toastmasters? It's open. So who are the people who supported you in your career? You will have plenty of answers. So likewise, whenever you get an open question, what you do is you start trying to identify the words that goes with the topic or the question by scanning your memory and try to get about one or two words, put them together, make a point to deliver your speech for the given topic. It is straightforward. You think about few words or few items that go with the given topic, put them together to make a point, and you start giving the speech. So this is for open questions. And then we can have closed questions. When you say closed questions, there are definite answers. It can be either a yes or no, or you will be given two items, two options, two alternatives, and you are supposed to select one. So in this case, what you do is you can review both options at the beginning and you can think about a way of connecting them, or you can select your option. Sometimes you may be able to answer or talk on both, but most of the time it is always good that you go either with yes or no, or A or B. And then again from the memory, you scan and get the relevant items. So this is also not a big deal because this is easy. But one of the challenging one is spinning the question. In spinning the question, actually, what we do is sometimes we do not understand the topic. Probably the words that is in the topic, we don't know because English is not our native language. Our vocabulary is limited. Therefore, we may be struggling to find the meaning of that. So in that case, what you can do is you can spin the question. Or sometimes the topic is a bit controversial. Either you don't like to speak on that, or you don't want to have a conflict with the audience by telling something against their wishes. So in both cases, you can spin the question. But if you really want to spin the question, you must be innovative. and try to add humor also to that. For example, if you get a topic that you have no idea of talking, just say the topic given was impact of 5G in Bangladesh. So we don't know about 5G and you don't know about 5G as a table topic speaker. So you can say, okay, leave 5G for the time being. Think about the T20 World Cup. Even though Bangladesh lost to Sri Lanka, they bounced back and they are about to beat West Indies. And hopefully they can go and win the World Cup also. Then towards the end, after seeing the yellow color, you can say, when we have this much of topics which are very interested for us right now, why do we talk about the 5G? So you wind it up. You did not speak to the topics true. And if it is a contest, how judges will look at, definitely in the second session, Distinguished Toastmaster Anpal will share with you how you can get benefit from that. So this is the third strategy that I am proposing under single layer. Let's move on to the double layer structure. You have your standard opening and end. In between, you have two layers. The strategy number 1, overall strategy 4, is called PREP, point, reason, example, point. So this is the technique that most of us use in the table topics. What you do here is you make your point, give the reason, then support that with one example, and then again connect it to the point and wind up the speech. So because of this, you support the topic. And then you take one example, a story or anything, to justify the point that you made with the topic. And then you conclude. So most of us, unknowingly or knowingly, we use this strategy or structure in our table topics. The next one, pendulum. So pendulum has two peaks at the two ends. So what you do is you talk about why you agree with the topic and you talk why you disagree on the topic. Explain the side 1 of the story or the topic, explain side 2 of the story, and then you can give a conclusion. So this is 2 layers because you are talking in support of the topic and also you are talking against the topic. So these 2 layers will be in between the standard opening and the closure. And if you go to the next structure, before that, I will give you one example. Now let's think that you are given the topic. Do you think it is important to have a new year resolution? So this is the table topic that was given by the table topic master. So what you can do is you start the speech. This is a very good topic to talk because it is connected with most of us. So this is a standard opening. Now I'm going to tell you about the 2 layers that you can use. For example, say, I do not believe in New Year's resolutions because studies have proven again and again that most people do not fulfill their New Year resolutions. Look at the gym, for example. It's always packed in January, but by February, it is almost empty. Most people that made the resolution to lose weight would have stopped going to the gym. For that reason, I feel that New Year's resolutions are a waste of time. So this is the first layer that you are not supporting the topic given. Then you go to the second layer in which you support the topic. On the other hand, I feel that it is important for people to have a goal. If it doesn't have to be set on January 1st. It doesn't have to be a SMART goal that is so widely preached. but it does have to be compelling enough to make people stick to it. A goal gives people a sense of direction or something for them to work towards. Without a purpose or direction in life, humans act just like zombies, going through the motion of daily lives without a sense of excitement. So you had the two layers now. In the first layer, you talked against the topic. In the second layer, you supported the topic. And then you go to the standard conclusion. In conclusion, I don't think it is important to have New Year's resolution, but I think it is important to have goals in life. Dear friends, set a goal that excites you every day and work towards it. Don't wait till the 1st of January to do that. So this is just one example where you can use the double layers structure, talking against and talking for the topic. Then again on the double layer, so you can think about balance. You will review both options and then you come to your own conclusion. You explain the first option given in the table topic, then you explain the second, and then you conclude the meeting. So if I take one example, if you get the topic as, would you rather be religious or an atheist? You have the normal opening, ladies and gentlemen, I feel that we should neither be religious nor be an atheist. So you have just given what you're going to talk about also in that. And then you go to the first layer. With no offense intended, religion has been statistically one of the biggest reasons for war, terrorism, and mass killings. Furthermore, in recent years, crimes have been committed in the name of religions. Of course, not every religious people is a criminal. It is just a few rotten apples. I believe that the main teachings of any religion is to be a better person. So this is for the religious part, your view on that. And then you go on to the next one and you talk on that. On the other hand, the common perception of an atheist is someone who does things without much consideration. After all, they don't believe in the afterlife or karma. So why bother? Atheists are perceived to be less likely to endorse values like commitment and love. Research has shown that atheists are trusted less than religious people. So even atheists trust other atheists less than they trust religious people. So this is your view on atheists. So you have again two layers, and finally you give the conclusion. Therefore, I feel that no one way is better than the other. So this is giving the views of both options. Now the last layer will be about the single layers. I request you all to have the microphones muted, please. You have the standard opening and the end, and in between you have three layers. And this is one of the simplest strategies that we can use in our table topics. The first one, strategy number 7. Apart from the normal opening and the end of your table topic speech, you can have an introduction, body, and conclusion for your topic. So it looks like a mini speech that comes in between the opening and the end. You have the general introduction as in any other speech, then you have the body. The body can have a story, the body can have examples, the body can have some quotes, the body can have some theories, it can have some statistics, anything. And then you go to the conclusion, and finally you go to the ending. So this is also somewhat straightforward, but based on the topic that you can select this as well. Moving on to strategy number 8. You have the, excuse me. You have the standard opening and the end, and then you take 3 examples to support your topic. Example number 1, example number 2, example number 3, and then you conclude by giving this example shows that this is what happens with the topic. So this is the 8th strategy or the second strategy in 3-layer structure. The next one that we can use most of the time is to relate it with the timeline. As I said before, you have the standard opening and the end, and in between you talk about the past, you talk about the present, and you talk about the future. So in this way, what we can do is we can nicely take the audience with you in the timeline. If I ask you the questions, what is the fear in you? You can say, when I was a kid, this was my fear. Right now, this is my fear. And I believe that this will be my fear in the future. I will not have oxygen to breathe. So you can relate to the past, present, and future based on the topic. So this is a 3-layer structure. Now, what is the standard formula for giving the table topic speech? Number 1 rule, you have to listen attentively to the table topic master or the contest master. If you don't get the topic right, you cannot speak. Not even you can think. So listening is the first important task when you are taking part or when you are about to give a table topic speech. You try to understand the topic very clearly. The standard way of inviting you for the table topic speech is your name, the topic, and your name. If it is a contest, after hearing the first reading of the topic, if you fully understood, then don't listen to the rest part, because you already know the topic. So let the contest master to read the second reading and the name. Let him or her to do that. You can utilize that time to think about your topic. And then after understanding, you pause for a while. Do not start giving the speech right away. As soon as the contest master finishes the reading the topic, don't start right away. Pause for a while. And then during the pause, you will think what kind of a strategy will go with this topic. Or how many layers, first decide how many layers I am going to use in the speech. Based on the layers, whether it is 1 or 2 or 3, then select the right strategy that will go with the topic. Once you do that, then you scan the memory. Try to recall whatever necessary, whatever connected this topic. Select only the essentials onto the topic, put them together, make the speech. Now you know, this is my opening, this is my body, this is my end. In the body, you know what kind of examples you are going to share, what kind of stories you are going to share, that all you know. And then you confirm, okay, this is what I am going to speak. And then it's all yours. What you do, you start delivering the table topic. You can dance, you can sing, you can sleep, maybe maximum 2 minutes. You can do anything. And then wind up with a punching message. But the problem here is now in the formula, you have 5 items. But the 3 items can take only up to 20 seconds. You cannot take more than that. During these 20 seconds, you need to listen, pause, confirm. Of course, after listening also, you can start the 20 seconds. There's no harm, because the contest master or the table topic master is still reading the topic. So your 20 seconds can start from the end of that. During the 20 seconds, you take 2, 3, 4 seconds to select the strategy that will go with that. Then take about another 5 to 7 minutes, 7 seconds to get the points, to get the resources that will support your topic, and final seconds to draft your speech in your mind, to have the structure, to have the format of your speech. And that means you confirm and you know what you're going to talk, and you can start delivering. But the problem here is, again, if I show you the timeline, now I have marked the time as minus 20 seconds. That means until you start speaking, that is time equals 0, you have 20 seconds. So you do all your preparations in the 20 seconds, and then you start. And if you cannot speak for over 1 minute until you see the green, you will be disqualified if it is a contest. If you speak more than 30 seconds beyond the 2-minute mark, again, you will be disqualified. It's not a problem, because when you see the yellow signal, when you see the yellow card, you can start winding up your speech with the conclusion. So it is unlikely that you go over time unless you see the timer screen. So if I summarize what we have discussed today, or what I shared with you today, you can go to deliver a table topic speech having 9 different strategies in your mind, in your brain, in your memory. And then, based on the type of the topic that you get, you quickly decide what kind of a basic structure will be suitable for this topic. Is it single layer, double layer, or triple layer? Once you do that, decide in that particular structure which strategy is most suitable for this one. And then your computer has to start working, recall everything, extract the essential parts, put them together, line up them together, and you are ready. And therefore, if we have to show a difference compared to the other speakers, make sure you utilize this 20-second period, or sometimes maybe 30 seconds, to the best of your ability. But you cannot do it just by going and delivering the speech. What is the reason for that? I was talking to one of the senior Toastmasters in the morning today, and he told me he understood all the strategies that I shared with him or I taught him. But then when he started applying the strategy to a given topic, or even when he was thinking of the strategies, it didn't come to his mind. That is because we need practice for this one. You don't have to deliver the speech. You think about a topic when you are alone, when you are driving, when you are traveling in the bus, or when you are idling. Take any topic, just try to map this topic to different strategies and try to get the information that you think that goes with this topic and frame the speech. Don't deliver the speech, just practice the framing, the structure of the speech. So when you start practicing this 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 times, there's no problem that your speech will be different to the others' speeches on that particular day. And especially if you are having a problem with the vocabulary, as I face, my vocabulary is very limited. So whenever I get a topic, I was struggling to have my speech. But when I think of the structures with the limited vocabulary, I was able, and I am able, to craft my speech based on the strategy given. But for a speaker like distinguished Toastmaster Ann Pal, who is a walking library of words, I would say, he doesn't need anything. Give the speech, because he has such a wonderful collection of words. And with the practice, he knows how to manipulate the words, how to put it out, when not to say everything. So I repeat, our native language is not English, and most of us have not learned in English language also up to the probably HSC or advanced level. And with our higher education only, we started learning in English. So every day, try to read something, newspapers, books, anything. Listen to the news, BBC, CNN, or whatever it is in English, so that your vocabulary will be more. And then practice using the strategies. Go and deliver your speech next time. Definitely you will get a thundering applause. Back to you, Master of Ceremony of the day.
Great appreciation and thanks to distinguished Toastmaster Daratne for his valuable speech, where he suggested some insightful strategies and 9 structured ways of speaking while it's about to deliver impromptu speech. I believe that our audience learned effective speaking strategy from the beginning to the end from his speech. Now we have our next trainer, our distinguished Toastmaster Ian Paul, who will help you on mastering table topics. Distinguished Toastmaster Ian Paul, a triple DTM holder, has played various roles in Toastmasters from club to district levels. At club level, he has served as an executive member from Sergeant at Arms to President for 35 plus times, has supported clubs as a club sponsor, mentor, and coach for 29 plus times. Along with all of this, he is district champion of table topics. He has played various roles at the district level, namely area governor, division director, pathways ambassador, pathway guide, district newsletter editor, and district administration manager. Currently, he is the program quality director of District 41. By profession, he is a senior consultant at IBM. Now, let's hear from Toastmaster Ian Paul. Over to you, Toastmaster Ian Paul.
Thank you so much, Dosing Nu Mama. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. I believe Daratne was supposed to share the slides. If that is a problem, I will be happy to share the slides as well. And I can probably ask one of you to tell me how the reactions are. So should I share the slides?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Wonderful. Just give me a moment.
I think if you want us to share the slide for you, and if it is better for you, we can share.
No, it's fine. I'm fine with all of it. Okay, so okay. Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about how to face, ease, and race ahead in impromptu speaking. You already have that long introduction of mine, but the reason we are all here is so that you understand why we need impromptu speaking. Okay, what are the benefits? And if you agree to the points being mentioned here, I would request you to try out a reaction like a thumbs up sign. As you see here, by the way, this is not being sponsored by Thumbs Up or Coca-Cola or anything. We're just doing some thumbs up for fun. So impromptu speaking can improve your oral expression of thought. Do you think impromptu speaking can improve your oral expression of thought? Since I obviously can't see any of the reactions, I would request you to let me know what people are saying. Are we getting some thumbs ups here?
A lot of thumbs up.
A lot of thumbs ups. All right. Help develop your confidence in public speaking. Do you think an impromptu speech, as you keep delivering it again and again, will make you more confident in public speaking? Can I get some thumbs up if you agree, and thumbs down if you disagree?
We can see thumbs up only.
Okay, all right. This is very easy. Help you think quickly on your feet. Yes or no? Does it help you quickly think on your feet? You know, thinking on your feet is impromptu speaking. Do you think that happens?
Yes, a lot
It
of
happens.
thumbs up.
Now, the last one can be a little controversial. Do you think impromptu speaking can help you develop leadership and communication skills? Communication skills, I understand. Leadership skills. What are leadership skills, and how can impromptu speaking help you develop that leadership skill? If none of you disagree, then I'll just simply go ahead. But if you have a doubt, I'm here to explain. Can any of you here, would you want me to explain a little bit more maybe? How come impromptu speaking and leadership skill have something in common? Yes, no, maybe? Well, before I do any of that, I'm going to ask you to fill in the blank in this sentence. A leader is someone who has dash. If you could fill it with one word, what would that word be? A leader is someone who has dash. What would that word be? You can probably put it in the chat window. What is that one word? Who is a leader? A leader is someone who has dash. So what are some of the reactions? I wonder. No reactions. Vision. Proshenjit says vision. Okay. Jami says communication. A leader is someone who has vision. A leader is someone who has communication. Vision, anyone who can see has vision. What does it have to be with a leader? Situational understanding is 2 words, hence disqualified. I think the clue lies in Twitter. A leader is someone who has, the right answer is followers. If no one is following you, who are you leading? Think about it. I'm not talking about who is a good leader or who is a bad leader. Anyone who has followers is a leader. Now, how can impromptu speaking help you develop that leadership skills? Now, please tell me if you have ever been to a doctor. Now, imagine going to a doctor and you're like, doctor, oh, I have a headache. I have a cough. I also have some temperature. And the doctor says, all right, Alexa, my patient has headache, cough, blah, 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 blah. What do you think he has? Will you ever go to that doctor? I would not. But just imagine being a soldier in the army. You can be in the Indian army, you can be in the Bangladesh army, you can be in the Sri Lankan army. You're like, sir, we are being attacked, sir. What should we do, sir? And then the sergeant or whoever is the top ranking official says, okay, let me go through the almanac of how to win a war in 60 seconds. Page number 1374. It says, bomb. End of story. You know, there is a bomb blast or whatever the enemy has attacked, you are over. Now, whether you not like it or not, leadership is about being able to take decisions sometimes at the split second. It's about asking the right kind of questions. Otherwise, you cannot have followers. No one follows ridiculous people unless they want to make fun of them. And we have such people as well. But you're not really taking them seriously. So you have to understand that when you're able to speak impromptu, you have a sharp wit, you have a sharp intellect. You might not have all the right answers, but at least you can guide someone towards the right direction. So these are the benefits of impromptu speaking. Don't just practice impromptu speaking to win another contest in Toastmasters. Do it because it can change your life. But the point is, why is it so difficult? Why do you feel like that? Why do you have your hands on your head and like, oh my God, what's going on? And the gears in your mind don't work. Well, a lot of surveys have been done, and you can agree or disagree with me here when I give you some of the reasons for which people are not very good at impromptu speaking. And then we will try to analyze why that happens. Okay, the first barrier to impromptu speaking is self-consciousness, especially in front of large groups. Performance anxiety is real. In fact, a lot of people have been surveyed as to what are the things they fear. And the world's number 2 fear, as for most surveys, is death. And the world's number 1 fear is the fear of public speaking, which means you would rather be in the casket than delivering that eulogy, if you're a Christian, maybe. But the point is, people are really terrified of speaking in public. And of course, when they are not prepared and it's impromptu, it gets even worse. You may fear you look afraid, even if you are not afraid, and then you'll take that leap of illogic and think that the audience thinks I don't know anything. So self-conscious and fear, they kind of really act together, and you may just have a genuine fear of speaking impromptu. Now, why? Well, it probably happened because you tried something before, it didn't work out, once bitten, twice shy. You failed at some point in an important high-profile speaking situation, and the seed of doubt was planted. It can also be due to genuine discomfort, not knowing what to do with your body. Self-consciousness soars really when you're fearful about speaking in public. And with that comes extreme body awareness. A lot of people don't know what to do with their fingers, they will probably be fidgeting with their rings, which probably means they're not telling the truth, or they are standing like this, which means they're very close, or they are constantly like, bouncing due to whatever uncomfortable reason. Now, I have a question for all of you. How many of you have tried out singing? Or even if you're a bad singer, singing, you've like tried out singing, you've seen someone sing. Can I get some reactions, please? Have you seen someone sing in a reality show maybe, or whatever? Yeah, no, maybe. Can I get some thumbs up reactions? Now, do you see how they sing? Do they sing like this? Ashik banaya, Ashik banaya, Ashik banaya apne. Do they breathe into the microphone? Probably not. They're like Ashik banaya, and they kind of put it away. Now, a lot of problems that I've discussed happens due to poor breathing. Now, public speaking requires a larger reservoir of air. Okay? And you have to know how to speak for longer. A lot of the fear we have is actually due to our breathing habits. You see, what happens medically when you are afraid or you're tense or you're nervous is your throat feels dry, you're sweating, your hands are sweaty specifically, you're like, bouncing on your feet, you're like, oh God, I have an important exam. Oof, what am I gonna do? Now, medically speaking, the body reacts in the exact same way when you're excited. Oh, your throat feels dry, you're like sweating, you're like jumping on your feet. Oh my God, I've got this important match. God, I can't wait for this thing to start, Avengers assemble, whatever. So now when you are able to control your breathing, you will be able to make your mind realize that you're not tense, you're actually excited. Your breathing is the first thing that needs to be controlled. And all you need to do is breathe in and breathe out. That's it. Now, I'm not expecting you to be like a Baba Ramdev from India and go like, or, something like that. I don't expect you to be a yoga instructor in a day, but just very simple. Just breathe in and breathe out. It'll help you focus on the there and now. Your breathing habit will change and you will not be feeling extremes. Now, you will no longer be uncomfortable because you're not self-conscious. You're not conscious about what is happening. You're at the moment, so you're not worried about past failures. You are not afraid at all, and you're definitely not conscious. So all of that discomfort, consciousness, all of it goes away if you're able to control your breathing. A lot of people also have this phrase that they use, the kind of magic phrase. A lot of public speakers, they're like, some of them pray. Prayers are very powerful, irrespective of whether you're an atheist or spiritual or a religious person. Or you might just have a power phrase like, yes, let's do this. In a lot of games, you would see people before they're about to get into the game, they all get together. They're like, come on, team. This one is for New York or, whatever. So you can have a power phrase like that, but definitely breathing is something that can really help you. So how does it work? Let's discuss. Now, this portion is going to be a bit of a recap because obviously we have had Daratne cover a lot of it in a lot of detail. So if you remember correctly, what's the most important thing? What's the first thing that you have to do in impromptu speak? It has been covered already, but what's the first thing you have to do? Imon says courage. I think this is an answer that he gave a little while back. No, that's not what the first thing you need to do. What's the first thing you need to do, everyone? Jamaluddin Jami has given the right answer. The first thing you have to do is to listen. Yes. Now, you've already had that covered, but listening is key. A good response is dependent on an attentive attitude, and careful listening can provide a key part of your response. Can any of you tell me, in a table topic contest, how many times can you listen to the topic? Just put it in the chat. Contestant number 1, blah, blah, blah. That's a topic, blah, blah, blah. Contestant number 1. That's how a table topic is given, right? How many times can you listen to the topic? 3 minutes? Okay, I don't know what that means. 2. Most of you say 2. That's wonderful. All of you are wrong. You can never listen to the topic twice. You can only listen to the topic once. And the second time you are confirming the topic. Did you hear it right? That's like a revision. So those people who believe they can listen to the topic twice will never listen it even once. Now, a good response is dependent on an attentive attitude, and careful listening can provide a key part of your response. If you agree, your reply will reflect your attention by reinforcing the other person's words. If you disagree, you can tactfully amend or correct the original statement. And if you listen, you also get to sharpen your powers of concentration to become an effective speaker. Most important is, do not interject your own ideas before the other person has finished. Instead, focus on what is being said. I'm going to have a demonstration. I'm going to stop sharing and ask someone whom I'm going to ask a topic, okay, to help demonstrate this point. Who would like to nominate or volunteer themselves? Anyone? Come on. I'm sure you want to speak impromptu. That's not that difficult, right? No volunteers. Jamal, what exactly is happening, Jami bhai? I have no idea. There are no volunteers. Everyone is terrified. But if you don't volunteer, you will never get to learn. So who would like to take that up?
Are they sad because Bangladesh lost the game?
It happens, you know. Let's not even get into that zone. I think I'm going to tell things that are going to be a little political.
You need volunteer?
I'm sorry? Okay, no one has volunteered. Oh, that's terrible.
Nasir Siddiqui showed up.
Nasir Siddiqui has up. Okay, Nasir, can you just switch on your video and come on camera, please? Yeah. Contestant number 1, Nasir Siddiqui, and I'm going to give you a topic, okay? And you have to speak on that topic or try to speak on the topic. Does it make sense, Nasir? Yes?
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Contestant number 1, Nasir Siddiqui, where there is a will, there are relatives. Where there is a will, there are relatives. Nasir Siddiqui, contestant number 1.
Sorry, you have to come up again. I didn't
Exactly,
get
you missed it. Yeah, that's the point. You will never be able to tell the table topics master or the contest chair, can you please repeat the topic? The judges are like, break for 2 minutes. This person has already lost. So I'm going to try it again, Nasir. Okay, even then, let's see. Contestant number 2, Siddiqui Nasir. Where there is a will, there are relatives. Where there is a will, there are relatives. Siddiqui Nasir, contestant number 2.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. Well, there is a will, there is a relative. I think if I get that topic right. So I think when we have a will, we try to make friends with people, because as a social human being, we cannot keep ourselves apart from the society. So when you think you are a social being, you make connection with people, not just virtually, but also actually. That's how we grow our friends. In our life, we need more people to help us, because we cannot do anything alone. We need the people to make things easier, to make things happen for us. Say for an example, the program quality director, Ayan Pal, he has a lot of subordinates to make his job easier in his entire District 41 team. And that is what he is doing today. So he has the will, and that is how he is making his connection work for him. So I believe we all need to have that will, so that our will can help us to reach our destination. So I believe from today, after leaving this program, you will try to make more connection, use your network more deliberate way to help it to win the game. Back to you, Mr. Contest Chair.
Thank you so much, Nasir. Can we have a huge round of applause for Nasir? That was wonderfully off topic. Brilliant. You spoke very well, but the point is you interjected your own ideas. So the topic is not where there is a will, there is a way. The topic is where there is a will, there are relatives. So we are talking about a will you leave behind when someone is about to die. Okay. So have you heard about a will? Like when someone is about to die, they leave a will that my son will get my bungalow, my daughter will get my guest house, or the jewelry. That is the will we are talking about. So this is what happens. You try to listen, but you don't have to just listen to the words. You have to see, okay, are they changing anything? Is it something I already know whose topic has been changed? So you have to be a little more careful. You have to listen with not just your ears, you have to also listen with your eyes. Now, very, very important, you have to listen with everything, because we have got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You have to listen twice as much as you speak. The second one is watch out and pause. Okay, this is very, very difficult to do, as our first speaker said today. And by the way, he spoke amazingly well. And it's so very difficult not to get feedback from people. But watch out for audience response if you can, to see if you're on the right track. And pausing before you speak allows you to refresh your thoughts and formulate an answer. A pause can add drama, allow the audience to absorb your message, or give them the opportunity to respond to humor. For example, if I take a statement like this, let's eat, grandma. So you're calling your grandmother to join you and eat. And if you say it like that, let's eat, grandma, it means you're like a big bad wolf who's like, I'm going to eat you now, from that nursery rhyme, wasn't it? Or that fairy tale that we read, Little Red Riding Hood. But that's not the only tip. It's very, very important to use a silent pause rather than using verbal placeholders. Sometimes we really get kind of confused as to what needs to be said, what doesn't have to be said. There is a will, there is a testament, and there are relatives all around. Probably I'm talking about my own will. It's terrible. So that is an example. If you're using crutch words, you're going to be marked very low, and you will lose out on a chance. Instead of that, you can just say it like this. Sometimes we don't know. We don't know is due to our will, due to our testament. We will have family members around us. We can never really tell. So use pauses. If you don't have anything, don't just say something. As they say, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. It's not just about speaking well. For example, a contestant just now, he spoke amazingly well. But if someone would have understood the topic, that person would have got more points. That's all. Third, for the sake of God, tell. Be enthusiastic, but stay focused and stick to essentials. Don't give in the urge to analyze every aspect of the topic. Okay, otherwise you'll never be able to say it well. And finally, end. Once you have said what you have to say, do not belabor the point. Bring your comments to the close, emphasize with your main point, smile if you have to, make eye contact with your listener if possible. Now, both are very topical. Okay, it can also be very creepy. For example, is there someone in the audience with whom I have interacted very little, that you feel I have not interacted with you so much? I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I'm going to ask you, anyone here? I'm going to talk about eye contact and smiling at the right places. Okay, so for example, Imon says, could you repeat tip 3? Yes, of course, Imon, I'm going to repeat tip 3. Tip 3 is tell. Be enthusiastic, but stay focused and stick to the essentials, and do not give in the urge to analyze every aspect of the topic. I'm going to come to that in a little while, if that is important, Imon. But if I don't know one of you, say, for example, Teresa, I do know you, of course. You and I have been in the same sessions before. But would you mind turning on the camera? Teresa Hoelzel, distinguished Toastmaster. If she's here, yes.
I'm there multiple times because I have.
Absolutely. So, Teresa, it's so nice talking to you. I think eye contact is very important. Eye contact is very, very important. We should always look at someone. If you look at people like that in the real world, they're going to run away. They're going to probably put you in jail. So eye contact doesn't mean you stare at just one person, as I just tried to do in a very horrible way. It just means you have to say things in a natural way. Also, when it comes to smiling, you have to smile at the right time, not like, The other day, a very close family member met with an accident and actually died. Yeah. So what? Are you happy? Did he leave behind his entire property in a will? So you have to say have the right kind of expressions and not do things just for the sake of it. So I'm going to go back to the screen that I was sharing as an example. We had a question about the third tip. So say, for example, it's a very, very long topic. Something like, experience is a tough teacher. It takes the test first, but gives the lesson later. Okay. Or for example, it is better to practice and prepare than to regret and repair, which is comparatively easier. But the same topic, if it comes about in a roundabout way, it is better to sweat in peace than to bleed at war. You're not going to talk about sweat. We sweat all the time and we should use body deodorant and all that. No, the topic is talking about the fact that success is sweet, but its secret is sweat. You have to kind of understand what the topic is talking about. And that is truly going to help you. And then, of course, the fifth tip, a very, very important tip, analyze the level. And based on the level of the topic, as per you, you can take the topic. Now, there are just three kinds of topics. The first topic is the most difficult one, where the bulb is not glowing. You just have no idea how to speak on that topic. The second topic is a mid-level topic. And the third topic is a very, very easy topic. So what do you do when you don't know what to speak? The bulb is not glowing at all. You just don't know anything. Okay. So how do you speak? Even if you don't know anything, it is better to go out there and speak something than to speak nothing. You still have a chance. You may become second. You may even win the contest. Maybe none of the others know what the topic is. So do not lose an opportunity to speak. And how do you do that? I'm going to tell that to you in a moment. If it's a medium level topic, what could be a medium level topic? A medium level topic, like, it's a very famous phrase which has been changed slightly. For example, the grass is greener where you water it more. So instead of saying the grass is green on the other side, it's saying the grass is green when you water it more. It's like a mid-level topic. So what you have to do is you have to take pop culture references, which are unusual. What could be unusual pop culture references? If I'm going to talk about a cricketer who has become successful despite the odds, who will you talk about? Anyone from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India? No one, no cricketer. Like if it was India, I think a lot of people would have talked about a Sachin Tendulkar, a Saurav Ganguly, or a Virat Kohli. Would you agree with me? Probably yes. They're very famous cricketers, or a Viv Richards for that matter. Daratne, who would you talk about? Who would you think is an amazing cricketer who has succeeded despite the odds from Sri Lanka? What would be your number one choice?
In Sri Lanka, of course, it is Muthaiya Muralidharan.
Muralidharan, right, from Sri Lanka. So what I'm suggesting is, don't talk about the most famous example. Talk about a slightly unusual example. So when you're taking pop culture references, have unusual examples, not so unusual that no one knows about that. Okay. So if you're talking about world peace, don't talk about a Mahatma Gandhi. Don't talk about a Mother Teresa, for instance. Talk about maybe a real example, of course, don't make up things. Talk about your school teacher who decided not to beat you, even when you did not do homework. And that taught you the importance of nonviolence. Maybe that could be a better story because it's very unique and it's very you. So if it's like a mid-level topic, have pop culture references, have your own personal examples. And if it's a difficult topic and if it's an easy topic, you have to say challenge accepted, but not in the way you think. So I'm going to share my screen once again, and I'm going to say how I'm going to do that. So if it's a very difficult topic about which you know nothing, like, for example, I know nothing of the topic. I only know one topic in the world, okay, cow. A cow has 4 legs, it gives milk, it eats grass, and so on and so forth. I don't know anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, I've stopped sharing, okay? I think most of my thing is done. So I'm going to ask you to give me a topic. Now someone has to do this, which has nothing to do with a cow. And I'm going to still talk about a cow. So if, say, for example, you know only one topic, you are horrible in the world. You know only one topic, then also you can get that topic into any speech, as I'm going to demonstrate right now. Can someone give me a topic, maybe Nasir, because I asked you something and I put you in a spot?
why India lost to Pakistan in the first match?
Ladies and gentlemen, if some of you are wondering why India lost to Pakistan in that first match, well, India did not end up offering namaz like the Pakistan captain. What they should have done instead is simply prayed to the almighty cow. Yes, that same cow would have probably been on that same field eating grass, and it would have given milk, and they would have milked the opportunity. In fact, a cow supposedly is so powerful that you just have to say, hello, cow, and all your wishes would be fulfilled. In fact, India, if you want to go to the moon, by the way, in case you haven't yet as a country, all you have to do is listen to the cow say moo, and you'll go to the moon. Forget about winning a cricket game. You will go out and you will be a star in your own right. In fact, think about it. A cow is there everywhere. Probably that ball you're playing with, the ball is made with the leather that probably came from a cow. How do you know that? That grass that you're playing on is probably there because a cow took care of it by not eating it. And at the end of the day, all the paneer and all the other things that you're having, dudes, most of it somewhere came from the cow. Even that pant that you're wearing, even that belt would have probably come from a cow. So the next time you want to win anything, just remember a cow right there, right now. And believe me, you would be going moo and going over the moon with happiness. Won't you agree, Nasir?
Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you, Nasir. So the point is, it's better to say something and convince the audience. If you can't convince the audience, at least confuse them. At least some points will be there. So even if it's the worst topic, you have something to say. So how do you work on that? So please go through topics, as Daratna says, practice in advance, go through newspapers to see what is for and against, and have your own ideas about what you can speak. And believe me, whatever topic you get, you would have something that you know that you might have spoken about before. So you will still be able to speak on the topic. And now if it's a very easy topic, if it's the other end of the spectrum, what happens? If you're trying to win a table topics contest, if it's a very easy topic, what you have to do is you have to figure out how to hit the ball out of the park, right? You have to do something that's very different, that's very unusual. As our first speaker said today, and he has been an amazing speaker. Is he here? Where is he? Has he left already? I have no idea. I don't think he's here. So anyway, the point is, if you want to win a table topics contest, you have to come up with a very different opinion. So if it's a very easy topic, you have to do it in a way that others have not been able to think about it. So I'm going to ask you all to give me a very easy topic, like an universal thought that no one can disagree with, and you will still be able to speak on it. So I had told the timer to time me in such a way that I will have 5 minutes after the red card. So timer, I still have 5 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So can any of you give me a topic? So if you feel everyone will agree to the topic, I will disagree, or I'll take it in a different tangent, so that what I say is very unusual and people will remember. You have to practice that. Not very easy, but if you want to really ace impromptu speaking, you have to start doing that. So can someone give me a topic that you feel no one will disagree with? It could be any topic, like a universal truth or something. Not an opinion, maybe a fact. You can use the chat window, or you can ping our division director, Jamaluddin Jami, and Jami Bhai, you can give me the topic. Okay, what's the topic?
Education is the backbone of the nation.
So do you all agree that education is the backbone of the nation?
Yeah, we agree.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of you who believe that education is the backbone of the nation, I would like to introduce you to the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, who was once a tea seller and has not even come out of school. Education is very important, but is it really the backbone of a nation, especially for nations like third world countries where 80% of people don't even have basic education? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that education, an Oxford degree, a Harvard degree, an MBA from the top-notch universities is that which will give you a backbone, I say you're wrong. Your backbone is going to be what you learn from life, and that may or may not happen in a classroom. If you are able to learn from society, if you're able to learn from nature, if you're able to learn from parents, that, ladies and gentlemen, will become your backbone, and you would not have to depend on education from anywhere else. At the end of the day, we are living in a country where a young school-going child in a bus is pointed a gun because she wanted to talk about education. I'm talking about Malala Yousafzai. And Malala Yousafzai, at that point in time, when she completely changed the world, had not gone to Harvard, had not gone to Cambridge, had not gone to Oxford, but she became the youngest Nobel laureate. She was offered a citizenship in Canada. She then went on to pursue and complete her education. Please understand, she did not do these things after complete her education. She did these things because she wanted to. What matters is what you really want to do. A Greta Thunberg is simply a school child, but her belief in herself and her belief in the power of the environment is causing people, educationists around the world, to sit up and take notice. At the end of the day, the greatest of teachings can come from the most uneducated of children. My greatest lessons that I've learned have been due to what my daughter, who is 5 years old now, has been teaching me. She's yet to begin her formal education. At the end of the day, if you're going to look at people based on how many degrees that have, well, the backbone of your country is going to be weaker. But if you're going to be able to learn from people, irrespective of the college degrees that they have, and because they have learned from life, you, my dear friend, will be in a better position. Won't you agree, dear Jamal Uddin Jami? Okay, so this is, of course, something a lot of countries don't agree with, but I still agreed with it. Most people are uneducated. It's a fact here, right? How many people are truly like educated? They probably have very basic education, and that's a problem. But the point is, how do you take things? Can you give me maybe a scientific fact? And no one can disagree with this. I think still they would disagree with. If you go to Afghanistan, if you give this topic, they'll probably say, yeah, education is not important at all. So different countries have different ways of looking at it. In fact, girls in Afghanistan have been barred from going to schools. If they thought it would be the backbone of society, we would have never had that topic. Can you one last time give me a topic that no one can disagree with?
Hard skill will get the job, but soft skill will, hard skill will help you to get a job, but soft skill you reach the highest level of job.
Okay, I can't understand. You're talking about hardscaping.
Hard skill and soft skill.
Hard skill and soft skill. Interesting. So you're saying, do you all agree that you need hard skills to get a job, or do you think you need soft skills? I think people are very divided. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. You can have the worst soft skills in the world, but if you know how to dance, you will become a choreographer, right? Do you need soft skills to become a choreographer, to be a dancer? Think about it. No, you don't. Soft skills are required in certain professions, not everywhere. So that's a topic not everyone would agree with. I'm just asking you, not for opinions, guys, a scientific fact that no one can disagree with. Well, maybe for another day, because we will not have that much of time. So
humans are disrupting the nature.
I'm sorry, what?
Humans are disrupting the nature.
Are really humans disrupting the nature? Okay. Do you all agree that humans are disrupting the nature? Okay, so I'm going to disagree to that. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that humans are a dot on a planet, which is like a dot in a universe, which is like a dot in a galaxy of many universes. If you really feel you can actually destroy the planet, well, you are nothing. There would just be something that will completely destroy all of us, and the planet will rebuild itself. It has always done that. It always will. We are just mere tiny people who feel that we are in control of the planet, whereas it is actually the planet that controls us. Whatever you try to do to harm that is never going to work out, because nature and whatever supreme power controls nature is far more greater and far more powerful than any of us. Look at the COVID pandemic as an example. Everyone who thought they controlled the nature, they could control traffic, they could control this, they could control that. A tiny invisible speck ended up controlling all of us. Now, whether it was created in a lab in Wuhan or in a lab of nature is something that is debatable. But if a tiny virus can completely change the way we look at the world, I guess it is high time we understood that we are nothing in front of nature. And it should be in our nature to try to live at peace instead of trying to feel that we can control hurricanes, that we can control tidal waves, that we can control tsunamis, that we can control floods, or we can control the will of God. At the end of the day, we are just mere inhabitants of this planet. We will not be, but the planet will continue to be. So stop giving yourself so much of importance and start accepting the fact that nature is far more powerful than what any of us together can ever be. Won't you agree? So, something like that. So bring in differential viewpoints. If you do, your chances of succeeding are going to be more. However, this is just a demonstration. You should do that only when you know that subject very well, but not otherwise. So 3 things that can help you ensure you don't miss out on any of these things. My last 3 points for the day is this. First, be confident. Remind yourself that pausing is okay. Restating the question will help you steady your response in your mind. So be confident, be brief. It is easy to stray off topic and begin repeating statements. Stick to your main points. And finally, be sincere. Trying to be inventive, like, that it's a very easy topic, I'm going to take it outside the park. As a demonstration, yes. But if you do not know, don't risk it. Okay, that's it. And by the way, I told you that last topic had to be very simple. You all gave me very, very complex topics and I still demonstrated. But if it's a very simple topic, as per you, that you feel everyone is going to agree with or everyone is going to disagree with, only then should you then change. So that brings me to an end of my presentation. If there are any questions, you may ask them now based on the time there is. But otherwise, thank you so much for this opportunity, and hope all of you will be able to get the courage to come forward as speakers in the table topics contest of Toastmasters International, and the courage to speak impromptu in real life as well, to be a better communicator and a better leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Without any doubt, it was really an outstanding and participatory session from Toastmaster Anpal. I was completely plunged into his wonderful speech. He has mentioned the barriers of impromptu speech, for instance, for breathing, self-consciousness, and past failures. He has also recommended how to overcome all of those barriers. It is practice which makes you perfect and proficient in anything, right? We must keep in mind that to be a good speaker, at first, we must be a good listener and be confident. I'm sure that you all enjoyed this session very much, and this time we will be having a question and answer session. For this, I'd like to request our audience to raise your hand if you have anything to ask to our trainers. You can also type your questions in the chat box. So our audience, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. Thank you.
I do have something to ask from DT Mayan.
Yes, Daratni, go on.
In fact, this is what happened to me when I was 2 months old in Toastmasters. I was taking part in an area contest, table topic contest. And the sergeant at arms was at the door, and he had a piece of paper like this, where the topic is written. So as I enter, the contest master read the topic. The voice was very low. I could not hear anything of the topic. And the sergeant at arms was showing the topic like this. And my topic is, probably you will not be able to see, I don't know.
Can't see, yeah.
I will tell, yeah, it's difficult to see. I will tell you one word by word, okay? When you fall pick something up. When you fall pick something up.
Okay.
So what actually happened to me was, because he was holding the paper, it was folded.
So you could not get the word in the center, right? When you
fall
down,
the space between the fold and pick was not visible. So fold pick was one word.
Okay.
So I was trying to get the meaning of this fold pick word for few seconds, and I didn't get, and I spoke something. So what is your advice to the audience if you are facing that problem in a contest, like you totally don't understand the topic.
It has happened, Ratni, in our district contest as well. In fact, the year Nusrat won, Nusrat, if you remember, the contestant in table topics, she got confused with the topic. She could not understand the topic because of the way it was read out. And Kaushik Bhattacharya, who became the evaluation champion that particular year, heard one of the words wrong. So he heard pearl as bird, and he said something else altogether. So now you have to please understand that to use, like I said, you have to listen with your eyes and with your ears. You have to look. You have to try to look at the person to read the lips, because sometimes you may kind of forget what they are trying to say. You may not understand. So please ask yourself, no, I don't think that is the topic. And one part of the topic that you can understand is pick yourself up. So talk about why it is important to pick yourself up. And how can you pick yourself up? You can pick yourself up when you fall down. So even if you have not got the entire topic, like I said, instead of concentrating on every word, try to guess, second guess what the topic might be. If you don't know, don't end up not speaking. Try to speak on whatever aspect of the topic you got. So if you would have spoken about picking yourself up, you would have still made it. So this is my recommendation. If you don't understand everything the first time, second time, confirm if you're getting it right, because remember, you're not listening to it twice. You're listening to it once, and second time you're confirming. Otherwise, you could just raise a protest and say, I'm sorry, but I could not hear the topic clearly. It was not clear to me. The contest will then be restarted, because then it will be termed as a failure. So be very, very clear that you understand everything and everything is fine. So in a table topics contest that will happen virtually this year, there will be a test that will be done. Can you hear me? Can you speak? Can I hear you? So you will hear the person. If you cannot hear the contest master or the contest chair, tell them, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Tell it there and then. Okay. Don't think, oh, what will happen? Just scream loudly, sorry, I can't hear you. Maybe the contest will be stopped. Or if you cannot hear at all, maybe it is your fault. Speak on whatever part of the topic you have got. It is better to speak on something than to not speak on anything. This is my recommendation to you. Okay, so that's the answer I have to the first question. I believe questions, you're welcome. I believe questions can be asked by anyone, and any of us can answer. It can be any question regarding contest, regarding impromptu speaking, anything at all. This might be a good time to ask them. Do you have any questions?
As you spoke, this is Teresa Hoetzel, and you articulated your words very clearly. In a contest, the major concern with online Zoom, because we have different international groups we are competing against, it is extremely important that the language is spoken slowly, whether it's within your culture or outside your culture. I think that would eliminate sometimes the misunderstanding of what the contest speaker is saying. From past experiences, I have noticed online, not at international and live, because it's totally different. This has occurred with many contestants. So it's imperative that the contest master is aware of the audience and the contestants that are presenting their performance based on the way he or she speaks and articulate. And it is extremely important to speak not at a fast pace, but when you're accenting words, speak slowly. And we go back to the original. Some people have a disadvantage because certain languages are not my first language, as well as other people, English is not theirs. So it's extremely important. And I found that quite a few contestants that I have observed and even competed with should have placed when they didn't. And it was because of the way that the contest master spoke. And you can't be perfect in speaking, but you can be slower.
Well, Teresa, to be very honest, I did have that the first time I reached the finals. I still remember Dhananjaya was also competing, and I was competing. This was when we were a part of District 82. And the person who was speaking had a very distinct South Indian accent. So in India, there are 440 languages that are spoken. Now, in Bangladesh and in Kolkata, the place I come from, Bengali is one of the premier languages, and Bengali also happens to be among the top 10 languages spoken in the world. And we do have a bit of a Bengali accent, but you cannot really control it in a district like ours, in which there is Nepali accent, there is South Indian accent, there is North Indian accent, there is Northeast Indian accent. So what we cannot control, we cannot. When you are a contestant, whatever is given to you, and sometimes the pronunciations may be wrong, you have to live with it. You have to try to do whatever you can. So the point is, even if you do not understand, what can you do with it? Even if you do not understand that one particular word, what can you do about it? That becomes important. But thankfully, because impromptu speaking or table topics is only till the district level, I think the kind of disadvantages you might face is going to be lower, because you're used to speaking in that culture, in that community. It's going to be similar. It's the likelihood of, say, someone speaking with a British accent in a District 41 contest is very, very less, as an example. You will find accents from the subcontinent that you will probably be aware of. But like I give the example of, you have to be very, very aware of trying to understand what the word might mean. For example, the word pearl was thought of as bird or something, but it cannot be. The other words were sand and beach. Why should a bird be there in a sand and beach? It must be a pearl or something. Nusrat, do you remember the topic? Nusrat is here. Something about pearls cannot be found on sand or something. You have to go down into sea. So my recommendation to you is, for example, you cannot say, oh no, the questions are so tough. Oh, this question is out of syllabus. Oh, this topic is so long. It's not allowed. Anyone can ask you anything. The contest master might just be completely unaware. I've been in a contest in which the contest chair has given one word, pink. That's the topic, pink. What do you speak about it? Maybe you can speak the world about it. Maybe you cannot speak anything about it. You cannot do anything. There was one contest in which a contest master had a topic, clickety, clickety, click. The crab has its claws, clickety, clickety, click. There it goes, clickety, clickety, click. What do you say about this? Nothing. It's like 24 words. We can't choose our topics. We have to try to do with what we can, especially if it's a contest. As the program quality director, of course, we will try to ensure that you have fair contests and you choose people who speak in a neutral accent. But because we cannot control it, we don't know what happens at that point in time. There's nothing you can do but to try to gauge what the topic might be and to try to speak on it. So that's my recommendation based on your observation, Teresa. Does anyone have any other question?
I said I'm making a suggestion. I'm familiar in multi-languages. I'm an international
That's a very,
lawyer.
very good suggestion. But as a table topic speaker, as a table topic speaker, Teresa, we can't do anything. If the accent is not right, we cannot complain. And I faced that, and it's terrible. But
yeah, that's why I was bringing it to the attention of, because I'm residing here and residing in other cultures in Toastmasters International. I think that is significant for the contest masters that are present here. I have not only spoken this here, I've spoken it to other districts that I am a part of, so I understand thoroughly. Thank you for the time.
I think we're done with question answer.
There is one question in the chat.
I think there are two questions. Maintaining eye contact seems difficult for a beginner. What's your suggestion on overcoming that? Proshenjit Chaudhary. Now, in an online medium, it's very easy. You just have to look at the camera and it'll seem like you're maintaining eye contact with people. In a face-to-face event, Proshenjit, yes, it's very difficult. And sometimes when you look at someone, you can get nervous. What I have faced myself is I used to be terrified of being on stage. So initially, I would not really look at people. I would look at, some places right over their heads, like, I'm saying something, I'm saying something, I'm saying something. And slowly you have to practice and try having more eye contact. It doesn't come, you suddenly can't look at people and stare into their eyes. It's difficult. But as you practice, Prashanjit, it gets better. Everyone is a beginner at some day, but if you pick it up faster, you can do better. So this is my suggestion, Prashanjit. Don't force yourself, it will get worse. Do it slowly, take it slowly. The second question is by S.M. Muhammad Hassan. Um, during maintaining time, framed time, okay, if I become unable to narrate the content clearly, what should I do to draw a fantastic ending? You have to understand, Mohammed, you are unable to frame content clearly means you are running out of ideas. Instead of belaboring the point, please end. Just say what you have, just summarize what you have said and end it there. It is better to end when the prestige is still left than to try to come up with a fantastic closing. If you had a fantastic idea, you wouldn't have been stuck in the first place, right? It's like saying I failed in an exam and now what should I do? The point is you have to just appear for the exam again. Maybe that table topic will teach you why you failed, and the next time you are in a table topics contest, you will be far more confident. So don't think that I have to come up with a fantastic ending. Every part of your speech is important. And if you're failing at certain points in your speech while delivering the speech, don't get nervous. Don't try to push yourself to come up with a fantastic ending. Logically close your argument, and that should be enough. So this is my recommendation for you, Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, may I share my views on the same thing? Just some additions. And
absolutely.
This is based on my observation. Most of the speakers that I have seen, the first minute they go at the highest peak, and then they finish material. They pause for a while. Of course, they are qualified. They have passed the green signal, but then they start telling few things which are not really going with the topic, totally, unless sometimes repetitions. So like very rightly you said, you better quit, you better conclude when you are at the peak and wind up the speech. And that is better rather than just manipulating with the topic and repeating the contents. Thank you.
I totally agree. And just one last point, Ratne, to what he has said. It's not like you have to speak for 2 minutes. You have to speak for minimum 1 minute. It's not like you have to wait till the red card is up to keep speaking. If you finish, if you've made your point, just end it right there. So I think there are no other questions. So over to you, Jamaluddin Jami.
We are done. MC.
Okay, thank you so much, our trainers and the audience. If you are done with your questions and don't have anything to ask for, then we will move on the next session. Here, I would like to invite our Associate Club Growth Director, District 41, Distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Dastagir Johnny, to deliver his valuable speech on our today's workshop and guide us with his insights regarding impromptu speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ghulam Dastagir Johnny.
Thank you so much for giving the floor to speak. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to the organizer who organized today's event. And this is really required, and as we are having and we are going to conduct table topic contest and evaluation contest very soon, and some of the clubs already done with the contest. So thanks to you all for organizing the event. I'd like to say special thanks to Toastmaster Sajid Ibrahim, our area L2 director, Distinguished Toastmaster H.P. Dayaratne, and finally, Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal for your great effort to make this session a successful one. Toastmaster Ibrahim Sajid, he is one of the finalists last year in table topic. Distinguished Toastmaster Daya, he is one of the mentors for many speakers, I would say many champion speakers. And finally, Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal, our program coordinator from District 41, he is one of the champions from District 41 in table topic contest. So it was really a great lineup to choose them for today's session as the session speaker or research person. That was really a great strategy, I would say. I want to mention one thing, that this is a table topic contest workshop. So many of you are going to participate in table topic contest. Also, maybe in other contests also. So in my observation, I want to share some of my experience to you all, as I'm with Toastmaster for last 8 years, that you know what, sometimes you cannot be in top 3 or top 2 or the topper in the contest. Just I'm giving a very recent example. Bangladesh lost to West Indies by 3 runs. And I was expecting that Bangladesh will win. And finally, Bangladesh could not. But I was very devastated. I was saying that I never watch Bangladesh cricket again, but I will watch again for sure. This is just, I was telling this from my emotional breakout for the timing. But why I'm telling this emotional breakout, but I saw sometime, or I see sometime, that if any of the contestants could not be in the top 3 or top 2 or could not be the topper, it was like, okay, I won't be in Toastmaster anymore. This is not my cup of tea. This is so many complaint, objection, observation. This should not be. This should not be, because whenever in the contest, chief judge is choosing judges. Definitely a chief judge is an experienced one, and he is choosing judges. Definitely they are also experienced. So we have to respect the decision of the judges, and also from the result that probably I was the second runner-up or first runner-up or whatever. Please consider that experience to move forward your journey, not to stop, just to move forward. So this is my suggestion or request, that if you can win or if you cannot win, every experience should be considered as new experience to your journey that will help you to move forward. And I don't think I have many things to say, because most of the things were covered by our session speakers, our research person. But I want to say thanks to everyone again, and also the participants for patiently staying in this session, because I know that you are at the very same time, I was actually watching Bangladesh West Indies cricket match and you are in the workshop. So you are privileged. So thank you so much to all participants. Thank you so much to organizer. Thank you so much to resource person. Thank you so much to Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jemi for inviting me to say something, and to each and everyone. And all the very best. Over to you, Toastmaster Dal Singh.
Thank you so much. So this time I'm requesting Division B Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Nusrat Huda, to provide us guidance on how to be better in impromptu speech and share her experience and thoughts in this regard. Along with this, requesting to share her insights about today's workshop. Over to you, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda.
Hello. Sorry, I'm logging in from Ghulam Wasir Johnny's account actually. So good evening, everyone, and thank you all so much to the wonderful dignitaries present here today and the resource person, especially special thanks to Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal and Distinguished Toastmaster HB Dairatne for conducting such wonderful workshops for all of us. Well, table topic is something that is very, very nerve-wracking for me, even now, after being in Toastmasters for more than 7 years. Trust me, this is one contest, table topic speech contest, which I've always stayed away from, and I've always feared participating in. So I've even taken the risk of participating in the international speech contest or the humorous speech contest, but I've never participated in the table topic because the fear of the unknown. I'm sure this is there in each one of us. So we are always scared of what we do not know or what may happen, what is going to happen. So that fear of unknown keeps us away from the table topics. But after listening to the two resource persons today, and their wonderful workshop, in fact, listening to all the key strategies that they've suggested, all the points that they've given us on all the tips and strategies to participate in the table topics, speech or contest, or just for improving our impromptu speaking, I've realized one thing, and I'm sure that's the key takeaway for all of us today, that impromptu speaking may not always be something impromptu or that you need to face just on the spot. It can be something that you can practice, and you can take mental preparation as well as some other preparation beforehand, before appearing for an impromptu speech contest or any impromptu speaking session. So with that kind of practice and applying all these strategies that our resource persons have laid out, I'm sure that we all can actually master speaking off the cuff, which was the target for our session or this entire workshop today. And I too have learned a lot of things about impromptu speaking, and I'm sure I'm going to implement these in my upcoming impromptu experiences, and all of you would also do the same. So once again, thank you to our resource persons, and I also wish all the Toastmasters who will be participating in the table contest speech this year to take away all these to learn from them and implement them in your speeches and do your very best. And thank you to our Division Director, Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jamie, for taking this wonderful and timely initiative for organizing this workshop, because this was the need of the moment. I'm sure all the participants have thoroughly benefited by attending this session. So thank you once again. Thank you for having me. Over to you, our MC of the day.
Thank you so much, Nusrat Huda. So we are at the age of the session. I do believe that we all had a great time with our distinguished trainers and Toastmasters. Truly speaking, this session taught me a lot with so many insights, as I'm really a new member in this platform. So I also assume that you all will be keeping in mind the suggestions we have received from our expert trainers, and will be using all these strategies to be an efficient speaker. I again want to thank you all for your great participation. And to end, I'd like to request Division L Director Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jamie to say something about our today's workshop and close the session. Over to you, Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Dev Singh, for being a wonderful host today. Thank you very much. I was really amazed being new in Toastmasters community, but the way you have performed today, it was wonderful. Thank you very much. And I believe you'll be able to see yourself, next time in different place. Of course, this is just beginning. Thank you very much. And I'd like to have the pleasure to thank distinguished Toastmaster Wayan Pal for conducting such a wonderful session, and distinguished Toastmaster HP Dairatne for having an amazing session today for the participants. Thank you very much. I'd like to also have the pleasure to thank distinguished Toastmaster Gulam Dasike Johnny for being here and sharing his thought. Distinguished Toastmaster Nusrat Huda for being here and sharing her thought. I'd like to congratulate and thank the organizers, especially from PQD team and public relations team, for your hard work to organize that event. I do not know whether it was timely event or not. It is timely event for everyone, but organized in bad time because we did not have the schedule of Bangladesh match today. So people enjoyed cricket match and became sad after losing the match. But those who participated here today, they are winners because they have learned a lot. And today, truly speaking, I have learned a lot. since I have joined Toastmasters, I have been learning a lot. I can still remember 2 years back when I was about to participate in a table topic contest and evaluation contest. I went to Daya's home and took the tips to take part in table topics. And I can still remember utilizing those tips made me win few contests, club level, area level, and reach to division level. Even for, evaluation contest, reach to district level. So that's the learning. So ultimately, I'm not entering detail to nitty gritty of Toastmasters. Rather, I would like to request everyone, if you want to take part in contest, whatever the contest, that could be table topic evaluation or international speech contest, that doesn't matter. You must have a mentor. You must have a coach. You must have a guide. Those will be guiding you, because once you demonstrate in front of your mentor, he is the person who will be pointing out your gaps that you can work on for betterment. So that's how actually a mentor will be helping you. So that's the initial learning today you have got from today's session. And next course of action would be to win in the context, to have a mentor and practice. Once you do that, for example, you cover 20 to 25, 30, 40, 50 topics. And after that, you practice with your mentor this number of topics. You'll see that whatever the topic comes, it does not matter. You will be able to, win that topic. You'll be able to demonstrate. It will be easier for you to talk. So that's the ultimate learning of having mentor in life, and learning from today's session, utilize it. And of course, I believe that those who will be participating in next contest, you will be doing great. With that hope, thank you very much for joining us today, and convey this message to your friend that the recording will be uploaded on social media, and it is live streaming on YouTube from HP Daratnis channel. So anyone can enter the video again and learn. That